Yo, what's up everybody? Blessings to everyone. Sorry, I have busy day today. I was in demonstration and had my first rap gig and also was having speeches and arranged a charity event where I gave out hundreds of sausages to poor and needy people. And if you want to check out the demonstration, it was pretty chill. We had a lot of artists there and everything there, and you can see it here, you can see it. So that's why the announcement came. So why is it 3 hours, 3 minutes and 3 seconds? That is so blessed. And we have now 7,000 views. But I basically got this place and we held speeches and gave like sausages to grandmothers and,
No niin, se kuulostaa ihan oikein hyvä.
and had speeches and rap artists and everything. It was pretty nice. So sorry that I'm late now here. I mean early, but the announcement came late. And we were again featured on Video Game Esoterica #1 arcade and console and whatever show. 47,000 subscribers.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game
Let's check it out
Here we got
a
part
little
2 of the best arcade racing games to play on TeknoParrot today. Because a few weeks ago I went over some of my favorite arcade racers that work on TeknoParrot, and I told you guys if you watched the video and you enjoyed it, there might be a part 2. There were a ton of comments asking about games that I left off, and that's because I always had a plan to revisit this. And that's exactly what we're doing today, starting with GTI Club Super Mini Festa, which is basically just a pseudo remake of the original GTI Club, as well as some of the sequels on a more modern platform. And the best part is, it works absolutely perfectly on TeknoParrot. You can play the game from start to finish. It is one of my favorite arcade racing games of all time, not made by Sega. Before you get far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that.
But this is a nice video if you want to check the earlier parts as well. And then there was even second video about Daytona USA 3.
Aspect ratio. It looks incredible on my monitors, and I figured I'd have a little fun with it here. And even though none of the levels in this game have any sort of geographic reference to them, this is 100% a recreation of some of the downtown.
Yeah, blessings to him, blessings to him. Alright, so now we must look through our changelog. Since last week I couldn't do a live stream because I was in Paris. So, and there's a crazy story what happened in Paris. I was first in Amsterdam for like 3 days or 4 days. And it was chill. I visited these Finnish streamers who are we call them rappiotubettajat. Basically they just get fucked up everywhere. Like they go and get drunk and in various streams and do stupid stuff. So they decided it was a good idea to go to Amsterdam, and I visited their stream. They had like tens of thousands of views per day. I think even over 100,000. So I showed them around Amsterdam. We went to a coffee shop to chill out a little bit, you know what I mean. And in the next days they like took mushrooms and the holy herb and alcohol mixed, and they got kicked out of hotels, and it was crazy looking at. But I wasn't involved in any of that. I was just in a trip with my fiancée since she got her birthday, so we went traveling a little bit. Anyways, to look since 2 weeks ago, we can check here. Yeah, we had the new Golden Tee 2012 supported with byte and everything, and then Buck-Off got some fixes to disable the idle timer, and then there was some movement fixes for Golden Tee 11 and 12, and then there was some fixes for Nerf, and then some mystery commit by Coffeeman. And yeah, Dead Smiles was added last week for everyone who I vote the next free game for all Beckers to... Is Bugbusters actually subscriber only? If it is, then maybe we can make it for everyone. Anyways, then Boomslang has been adding nice updates to the capturer. So now the capturer is more stable and doesn't eat so much resources, I guess. And then Dead Smiles received additional fixes since some people had problems with it. Then more fixes to score submissions, so it's not so CPU heavy. And then there was even I set up the automatic build system for FFB, which is our first force feedback library by Mighty Mike and Boomslang. So I made auto build for it. So now it auto builds every time Mighty Mike makes updates, and we don't have to like worry about manually building it every time because it makes no sense. So now we have, for example, force feedback for D1 GP, and then we have D1 GP lamps added. Then we have force feedback now for dead heat riders and outputs. And then D1 GP force feedback was disabled. Okay. But yeah, and this week's surprise game, we'll see soon if we have some guests like Diego to guess what it is. And yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Switch too. I haven't followed those news really at all, but I guess it's, I read it's a little bit that it's some kind of a new CPU, GPU, and they need translation layer or something. I'm not sure about that. Yes, so let's see if we have any oh, we have guests here. Yeah, baby. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello, what's up, Diego? What's up, chap? Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm very tired. I haven't slept in 3 days properly because of the demonstration. But I'm otherwise fine.
I noticed that Nintendo Switch 2 is expensive in Europe,
Yeah, it's only gonna go up in price.
but in America, in Japan, it's more cheap in America and Japan.
Why?
Do you know why? Because the exchange rates.
I'm gonna guess the new game, Plants vs Zombies Arcade.
No.
But I want to play the Plants vs Zombies Arcade game. It's now dumped.
But maybe it's encrypted, I don't know.
Is it another golden tea?
No way. This is something completely like I don't think anyone will guess what it is.
Damn, Ethan said I don't think anyone.
I don't even remember its name properly. I need to check it from the list.
Is it Counter-Strike? Counter-Strike Neo?
No, it's something. This game now has even cards emulated.
Oh, it has emulated parts?
Yes. And it's really big surprise. It was worked on like for some time, but now it's finished.
It's not something EXA, is it?
It might be.
Is there Half-Life game?
No.
Hey, if it's Akata Blue, I'll be happy as hell because I've been wanting to play that shit for years. I've been on my cell phone.
What's that?
Akata Blue?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's an exclusive game on EXA. The EXA Arcadia. It's a shoot 'em up that came out. It's on iPhone.
Sorry, it's tied to Type X.
Oh, it's a Type X, not an EXA. Okay.
It's a Type X.
What? Somebody says Techno Search and Sub is not available. What the hell has happened? Who? I need to check.
Is it Street Fighter 6?
No, I don't think that's dumped.
King of Fighters 15?
No.
Damn. I'm trying to think what needs to be
Is
done.
then shall I go?
No.
Is it a new Gunslinger Stratos game or Gundam?
No.
Oh man, I'm out of guesses.
Oh no, Techno Sargent is not available. Oh my god, I need to fix that now. Okay, Techno Sargent is now available. Also, I noticed Techno General is not. I was Shopify sucks so much it like has some inventory things, but I don't care
River,
about
why
it.
is no TeknoParrot last week?
Because I was in Paris.
Let's have a good time. Hey, did you go to the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, in the how do you say? I was in the Eiffel Tower in the. No, I didn't go up.
Okay, so you just visited it.
Yeah, and then there was some aggressive guy trying to sell roses and got really mad that we didn't want to buy roses and started threatening us, and then we started yelling at him, and then some armed guards with rifles, they came and like, what do you want? And then the guy just left. So it was not the best best experience in Paris.
My parents went there for their honeymoon like 20 years ago, and they said an eye-opening experience, and that was 20 years ago. And they also
The
said
title.
everybody smelled like onions and BO.
I don't know about that. Yeah, anyways, what's up, guys?
Not
Good.
So
same
what?
old, same old.
I noticed that Ridge Racers is going to be Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a port of Ridge Racer. The arcade version is going to release on Nintendo Switch 2
Yeah, you can
Nice.
play it for free in Maine.
because it's a part of the new series created by Hamster called Arcade Archives 2.
Goals.
The Arcade Archives 2 is focused on 3D games.
Yeah, and Switch 2, so they have an excuse to sell people games for $8 every week. But maybe they'll raise the price too. Maybe they'll be like 10 or 12.
But I'm surprised that game prices haven't gone up with other inflation stuff, you know, like food and gasoline and whatever.
Well, console games now have. Nintendo announced an MSRP of $69.99 for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then for the Mario Kart World is $79.99 here, and then over in Europe it's going to be €89.99 euros. That's for the physical.
Last Switch game I purchased, I think, was the Zelda Echoes or whatever. But I think it
Echoes of Wisdom.
I think it was worth every euro that I paid for it. So because it was such a lot of content.
What is aranceles in English?
What?
Aranceles in English.
What?
Aranceles.
It's in Spanish, but I want to the translation in English.
What are you talking about?
It's because of that the Switch 2 is going to be off the price.
It's because the Japanese yen is weak. So the reason why the Switch costs $330 US price in Japan is because when you take the yen trades at 146 yen per each dollar. So when you offset the cost of the exchange rate, that's why it's cheaper. It's just people are stupid at math. You don't realize that's how it works. Like I used to make money off exchange rates by importing games. Like I would send a lot of my
it's duty. The duty is going to the duty is
yeah, it's 46% coming out of Vietnam. They're paying
the duty is going to be increased.
Yeah, but did you know that Vietnam charges the U.S. 97% in tariffs for us to import our stuff into Vietnam? And they're charging half in reciprocal tariffs. So I think that's only fair. And then Vietnam says that they're going to take off all tariffs. There'll be a zero tariff, so it'll be a free trade zone between Vietnam and the United States soon, which will bring the price of the Switch 2 actually down to probably $330 US. That's probably why they delayed the pre-orders, because they know that they just made a deal with the president of Vietnam and Trump, so they're going to bring the price down. And everybody says they want the price to come down. They started with a high price. They knew the prices were going to come down, and now they're going to save face by dropping the price in the next couple of weeks.
I noticed that in Japan there is a bubble whack-a-mole game in Japan called Babylon Attack or Babloon Attack. Babloon Attack is a whack-a-mole game released by Taito in 2020. It's a screenless game.
Right on.
Yeah. Anyways,
You
the
got the dedicated hardware.
what? How do you explain it? What do you think about the tariffs? I haven't like read it about it in detail.
It's
but
a negotiating tactic to get them to drop that against people. What it is when we ship stuff to the UK, you know, we've got to, when we sell stuff to you guys or in Europe, you guys pay that VAT tax, right?
yeah, we
What they're
do.
trying to do is negotiate the tariffs as a reason to drop the VAT taxes. So in the end, everybody will end up not having to pay tariffs. That's the problem, is that we need to eliminate all excess importing, exporting taxes and level the playing field when it comes to business trade.
Yeah, and I
They're only
think isn't America such a big trade zone that they like can do this now? Because a lot of people
Yeah.
say it's a bad thing, but isn't the
There's
country
companies-
so huge and so wealthy that they can like even trade with themselves only?
The Asian, what the problem is, you got the Asian Pacific companies, right, that are in alliance, like you got, or countries or whatnot, like you got Taiwan, you got the Philippines, you've got Vietnam, you've got Cambodia, and then in lesser extent India, because a lot of offshore manufacturing has been moved there. They did that to offset the tariffs that China had received in the first term of Trump's. What happened is Biden held on to those tariffs with China, and they outsourced manufacturing to those other Asian countries, right? What happened is Trump came in and realigned and said, well, if you want to offsource, the multinationals are going to offsource to these other countries to avoid tariffs, because these countries have boundaries that keep us from trading with them. Like you go into Europe, you don't see a Ford, you know what I mean? You don't see Chevrolets anywhere, because there's like a one-way system where they're taxing us at a percentage.
Yeah, I was
that's-
checking about these American cars when I was checking my Porsche, but it was so fucking expensive and much how do you say? It was not so fast, the car, so I didn't buy
The
the
value-
American car.
Because the thing is they're selling them at a higher price than what the Europeans are, because the Europeans can afford to sell it because they're not taxing themselves on that VAT when they bring the cars over. So we're getting a better car. They have an advantage in the U.S. also because they're selling those cars at the same price as what they're selling American cars for, and their quality is much better than ours. Like,
Only thing,
I've driven a BMW. I can tell you, like they're a better car than a Ford. Like technically, like
only place I heard before these tariffs are in Brazil. I think they have massive tariffs on all the computer games and video
Yeah.
games.
I used to import a lot of stuff to Brazil, and they were paying like probably like a 50% tariff on like the Neo Geo MVS cards I was selling. So let's say if I sold a used cart to someone for like $100, they ended up paying $50 by the time it got to them, plus shipping, which was probably like another $40, $50. So they're paying twice as much just for one game, and that's why they were still playing Sega Genesis and Master System into the year 2000s, because people just couldn't afford.
Didn't they have their own consoles too, like Zeebo and stuff like that?
Yeah, they had Pico also. The Sega Pico stuff was like real big there. Even after it failed here, it did really well in Japan. It did really good in Brazil, and then a lot of that stuff got picked up by Toy Tech, which is a manufacturer in Brazil that makes. They still to this day manufacture Sega Genesis and portable Sega.
yeah. Also, I noticed that the Sega Pico has a successor called the Advanced Pico Vina.
I've seen arcade versions too, where they have them set up in the schools. I don't know if you've seen those before, where they're running some type of like Chihiro Microsoft software. It's like touchscreen stuff, like learning software. It's crazy what they use because they'll repurpose stuff that they've used previously in commercial and educational systems.
Mhm. Okay, well, we must announce the new game, and it's
Yay!
called. It's called. I have to open the. It's called. Oh shoot! I need to send some pictures to this machine. Just a moment. Where's this?
I'll tell you if I ever had my hands on it because I've had most of the Type X games at one point. I love the windows of Diego. It reminds me of Clay in like the Star Wars. It's multiplicity.
Okay, just a moment.
Ay, may una voz a voice in Japanese.
Yes, Diego, it's Japanese game.
Oh, no.
It's by Sega.
Sega made a Type X game?
Yeah. Apparently so.
I know there was a Sonic game. I think I played that one.
Okay.
Is it a Puyo Puyo game?
No, it's called. Oh my god, why can't I find the name?
That's wild.
Let's open Telegram here. It's called. It's called K on After School Rhythm Selection.
I never heard of that. K-On.
Here is the video.
Oh. That reminds me of Azumanga. They had the Puzzle Bobble Dio series. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Azumanga series. The artwork is very similar.
I think this was the game. And this, now all the cars are emulated, even the cars that are not normally, even the cars that are not normally unlocked, we have activated them, so you have full features.
What is a genre of the game?
What?
The genre.
It's a rhythm game.
Oh, neat.
So now you can emulate all the cards, even there was some cards that were disabled and blocked, and those are now also emulated. Oh wait, I'm checking. Poki was explaining about it a little bit in depth here. Let me see where the explanation about the cards. I think it was in my DM. Who has birds chirping in the background?
Not me. I got no aminos. I got a fan going. That must be Diego.
Yeah. I
Got some
think.
birds in the back.
Yeah, so 50 cards were blocked, but they have been patched to be usable now. So you have full card emulation now, so you can now enjoy this game.
Yeah.
But it no, is o sea, what the cards with no nets with Netsica card?
No, it's a special card. It's custom card.
What? But use Netsica Netsis network for function the cards. You need to enable the Netsica network.
No, it's now everything is emulated, Diego. Don't worry. It's a Sega game. Why would it use Netsica network?
Don't they use like all.net?
No, but I don't think this has any network functionality. Just a card reader.
So it's just a local game that has those unlockable content.
Yeah.
Okay, and he says that he already unlocked all the content.
Yeah, so now you can just
What the name
inject
is
any-
KO. KO.
He said K-On! After School or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes, Diego. Yes, Diego. Diego just lagged out.
Peace, Diego.
We can still hear the birds chirping.
Where the hell is he? The zoo?
Every time he's in football game or in the zoo or something.
Where he's like not in an enclosed area. He's like somewhere out in public always. Where are you, Diego?
In Costa Rica.
You're in Costa Rica.
Can
You're
you
not in
show
Brazil?
outside the window?
You're in a car?
Yeah.
Why are you in a car?
Because I'm. Yeah.
Okay, somebody said that we should thank the meme dumping union for K-On! Yeah. Thank you and blessings.
Hey, what else are you working on right now, Reaver?
Well, I'm still working on the TeknoParrot UI upgrade.
Okay, cool.
And the Finnish elections are next week, and I'm running on that, so I'm still.
Best of luck to you.
Yes, we'll see if I get the city councillor full seat. We'll see about that. I have been campaigning every day in the streets, and that's why I also had today the event. And
Well, I wish you great luck in your political career.
Is KO after school rhythm selection. I'm gonna find it in Undumped Wiki. But
Yeah,
what
I've
the
never
hell? Eric Showtime chunk dumped it, but he is like never dumped anything publicly like this. What the hell has happened to that guy? He has like treasure trove of stuff. What are you doing, Chape?
It's not a-
Okay. Poki was joking just about Eric Showtime. So today we are also gonna give out 20
it's based on a manga. The game is based on a manga, an anime series.
Hey, Reaver, I had a question for you.
Yes.
When I buy a key, is it only good from the 30 days that I activate, or is it good for like 30 days from the day I bought it?
It's 30 days when you buy it.
Okay.
But then you can buy the yearly key and then it's for 12. It's cheaper and it's...
Well, the reason I was saying is I had a couple of them I purchased that I didn't activate, and I was like wondering, are they still good, or I just have to use my latest?
Automatically renews all the time.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I want the new TeknoParrot UI to have an
this
option.
This game is the sequel to KO Rhythm Time.
The other question I had is with your UI that you're working on, is it gonna boot up quicker on like lesser PC? Are you optimizing?
and my dream is that you also have option to log in directly in the UI.
Yeah, it's a game.
So it will automatically update your keys and everything and set the profiles for all the games that you have, and maybe even later have cloud saving for your configs or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I really want to advance the UI because now it sucks. You cannot like have a direct input plus X input on some games and stuff like that.
It's Taito Type X game. Taito Type X1 game.
Yeah, because you have to switch between the two different inputs depending on whatever it is. Like
I know. I know why this game is not online feature. It's a Taito Type S1 game. The Nesis network is introduced since the Taito Type X2.
Okay, so because it doesn't have a network feature, so it's a Taito Type.
It's a Taito Type X1 game released by Sega on a
Yes,
Taito system.
I said that already, Diego.
Yeah, all the games I owned that I had back in the day during the Type X days, all I had was stick and buttons games. I didn't buy any of the games that took peripherals or any of them that were dedicated. They were all like, upgrade kits, Raiden 3 or like Gomurra or something like that. Shikigami.
Thanks to the arcade archives too, is there a possibility that are some 3D arcade games like all the Ridge Racer, the Tekkens, also in arcade arcades too is gonna be some Taito G-Net games like Chaos Heat,
Like which-
Chaos Heat, or also the Ray Force and Ray Crisis is going to be on Nintendo Switch 2 via Arcade Archives 2.
I don't think they'll release them because they're already on the Raise chronology.
But the games don't buy the games separately.
Yeah, but I don't see them putting out games that have already previously come out within the last few years. Like I could see them releasing arcade archives versions of like Tekken 1 and 2 and stuff like that. I don't think they're going to do anything newer than that. I think they're still working on doing those System 11 games.
But there's gonna be System 11 games on Nintendo Switch 2 thanks to Arcade Arcades 2 because Arcade Arcades 2 is focused on 3D games.
I'm hoping they put those on PlayStation also, and not just on Nintendo Switch 2. I'd like it to be on PlayStation 5.
But currently it's confirmed to be on Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, I see. I've been on the website and noticed there's even going to be a feedback for the racing wheels.
Somebody asked that are you still working on a feature to set all controls for all games? Yes, that is also what I want to do with the new UI. There is no point on doing it in the old UI now, so I think
still networking for dirty driving.
I hate that I couldn't get Dirty Driving TeknoParrot online to work. It has like this weirdest network code, like it's UDP, but it just won't link the machines for some reason. I think we're missing some weird API that needs to be emulated or something.
I wish I could get on like a dual cabinet and see how they have that going. Like they might have it running to some type of like switch or something like that, where you got to set up IP individually. Like you could have one running as the master and another as the slave.
I don't know if Arcade Arcades is only focused on 3D or there's some 2D games like the Taito F3 system or also like the Taito F3 system. Because on Nintendo Switch, some games from Taito the F3 system are not the arcade version, only the Saturn version. Ya que currently the only Taito F3 system that's on Nintendo Switch is Ray Force.
Yeah, well, there's also Darius Gaiden.
The Darius Gaiden is us. Only Ray Force and Darius Gaiden are on the Taito F3 system version are on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, but were created by M2.
But games like Elevator Action Returns, Cleopatra Fortune, and the Puzzle Bobble 3 are the Saturn versions, not the Taito F3 versions.
Yeah.
I
think a majority of the games that are going to coming out are going to be those like City Connection, Saturn Collection version games.
Yeah, for example, Written not Written Tengoku. Game Tengoku on Nintendo Switch is not the Jaleco Mega System 32 version. It's the Saturn version, not the Jaleco Mega System 32 version.
Thing with Guardian Force and Cotton, they're also Saturn versions.
Not the Taito STV version. Also, the only game that is not on Nintendo Switch I want to play is Puyo Puyo San. Puyo Puyo San, I want to play Puyo Puyo San on Nintendo Switch too, but they are the Sega Titan Video version, not the Saturn version. The Sega Titan Video version. But
I gotta ask
but
Reaver a question real quick. Reaver, one question I had for you, since you were working on the networking for the Dirty Driving, have you been able to get any of the Raw Thrills games, the networking link, like Cruisin' Blast or Batman or any of those?
I think Batman uses the same networking as Dirty Driving and H2 Overdrive, and I think those work on LAN just fine.
Those were running on the custom Adrenaline PC.
Okay, but they work fine on LAN. I think Boomslang made some network stuff for them.
Okay,
But it
so
doesn't work with TeknoParrot Online currently, and Cruisin' Blast nobody has checked it. But I think it should be possible to link those with some fixes.
I'm pretty sure that Specular Interactive did the Batman for Raw Thrills, and they also did the Dirty Driving. So I suppose they might use similar code when it comes to networking. Maybe if you guys look at the Batman and then kind of compare the code to the Dirty Driving, it might line up.
Yeah.
Like there might be something in that code that fixes it.
I also would want to like make some kind of networking or online gameplay, so it would be easier for people to, like now it's super easy, you know, you click few buttons and you can play with TeknoParrot Online, but still many people are discouraged to use it. I need to figure out some way to find easier way to quick join or something, I don't know.
Trevor, also I noticed that all Sega Titan, no, not all, but some Sega Titan video games are playable correctly on nothing than MAME, because all the books that have all Sega Titan videos that has books on graphic books on MAME doesn't present on nothing, but some games have graphic books on nothing than MAME.
Reaver, I had one other question for you. Have you ever thought about adapting any other PC similar capable arcade boards to TeknoParrot?
Like which ones?
Like okay, we take the Chihiro stuff.
But
Like
that's
you have a lot of type stuff.
Isn't
You
that
have what I'm saying is like that's like the Sega based stuff. But have you thought about adding what's the other one they had previous to that?
The VR games.
No,
you
no,
mean
no.
Naomi?
No, not it's not the one that came. The one that has Virtual Cop 3 on it.
That's Chihiro.
That's Chihiro too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Virtua Cop is 3 Shihiro based and Shihiro hardware, but there's only the only emulator that runs Shihiro is Semu. Semu runs some Shihiro games, but you need to modify the ROM for.
What about the Hikaru? Have you taken a look at that at all?
I think only Demul runs that.
But the emulation of Hikaru in Demul is incomplete.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
I tried to
so-
contact Metallic to fund his research, but he doesn't reply to me. So because I was interested in funding continued development of Demul, but they don't. I think he's Russian or something, and he doesn't. Maybe I should ask my fiancée to write something to him. Maybe he will reply.
yeah, it'd be cool if I know because like okay, so you got House of the Dead 4 running, right? But I know it's like you'd have to adapt the Naomi ROM into it at that point. But what it does is it loads into the Flash ROM, and the way the Microsoft Xbox works, it's really just a Pentium 3 based PC, you know. So if there's a way that you could adapt the Chihiro into TeknoParrot somehow, and then you would be able to add like Crazy Taxi, High Roller, Ghost Squad.
Is there
Virtual
even
Cop.
emulator for Chihiro?
I think it's Xenia. There's like a Xenia emulator, is what it's called. I think. I've seen,
Semu.
no Xenia, the Xbox. Yeah,
No, this is Xbox 360. It's not that Chihiro
No.
emulator.
What emulator runs the Virtual Cop? I've never tried it myself, honestly. One of my
No.
did the
Yeah, it says Zemu here. Zemu.
CXBX, I guess is the emulator. CXBX, something like that. XMU.
But CSB Emu only runs the Virtua Cop 3. The rest of the games are not playable in CSBC.
Yeah, that's because they changed the BIOS or something because somebody got it running on Xbox first.
Also, there are mods from the PC version of the Shihiro games that convert the games into the Shihiro versions.
Here is
Of the
Zemu, VirtuaCop 3 Shihiro Zemu plus settings. Also Outrun.
Let me in. Let me in.
Oh,
Hey.
hello, you are here.
I was thinking maybe there's a way you could adapt one of the cores or something. Maybe add that in. That way you could boost like similar games, have like a larger catalog of
Yeah,
similar titles.
I would like to fund more emulators, arcade emulators, and bring them under like TeknoParrot. But most of the
Like
guys, I tried to contact one like few different teams, but they're like, oh, we don't want any money. We just want to work for free forever, and that's it. And I was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. But it would be fun to fund some guy to work full time on Zemu, or I mean Hero or Triforce or something like that.
yeah, I'd like to see more of that stuff in there. Like more of like the
But
Sega.
for currently F-Zero AX is now playable on Dolphin. Porque there is a fort of Dolphin created by Creator. Creator create a fort of Dolphin to emulate the Triforce, and
Yeah,
all games are playable correctly. Also with card saving.
also
Wow,
with the,
really?
Yes, all Triforce.
Oh.
what I was gonna ask is that there's no way to like adapt some of like the core from Dolphin if it was like open source or something, so you could get like Triforce and like Tatsunoko versus Capcom running under TeknoParrot.
I think that's possible, but here we can see Dolphin Crediar. 8 years ago, 5 months ago here. I need to contact this man, Crediar.
So
Where can I
Tatsunoko
find him?
versus Capcom that I use in order to run it, I have to boot the
This emulator also runs the Wii-based hardware from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, the arcade version, is now playable on PC, the arcade version.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain how I have to go and I have to log the game as firmware. Whenever I go to boot it to the Dolphin emulator, it doesn't have to. I have to load it as a UI. It's not a ROM. So it basically loads the entire interface to the system and then boots right into the game. When you run it,
Because the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom doesn't have the Wii menu. It directly runs on the game.
on the modified Dolphin, though, you can't run other you can't run like other games. Once you have the firmware set to
Because
that,
the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is based on Wii, the
yes,
graphics are inferior compared to Street Fighter 4. Has better graphics than Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
yeah, I know this. What I was trying to say is that because the game runs on a custom hardware that's like a power PC, right? Like, and it's running on a PC that it can be adapted to a PC as an individual title.
But the other game is run on Wii-based hardware.
But if you want to run Triforce games, it doesn't run under the same firmware yet.
Okay, can I speak for once? I haven't had any chance. I just got on here. Okay,
Yes.
I'm very mad with all the tariffs. I'm very mad because because our current administration wants to hike prices in order for us to pay. Because now I have to spend over $1,000 just to get a Switch 2, and I'm like, really? Really?
It'll end up being $330 on June 5th. I'm calling it now.
Well, it's silly because Nintendo was always very low, and
Vietnam
now
dropped the tariffs yesterday, and that's where the system was manufactured, which means there's no tariffs on the Nintendo Switch 2. If they choose to charge what they continue to charge just because of greed.
Okay, please don't bring any more politics. What's good and what's bad here?
No, I'm just being real. They dropped the tariffs. There's going to be a zero tariff in Vietnam. So if that's where the system was made. And I'll be real on another thing. There's already 500,000 of those systems that were in the United States as of January. You can look that up as a fact. So how are you going to tariff something that's already here? Boom.
there's going to be o sea, the Nintendo Switch should has this is going to be the same fate as the 3DS.
Yeah, they're gonna have to drop the price. They're gonna have to save face and drop the price. They have no choice.
Because the 3DS during launch is so expensive for a handheld game, for a handheld console.
I watched over 20 hours of Nintendo Treehouse live streams. All I saw was drop the price the entire time in the live chat. Thousands. Thousands.
Drop their price is bajar el precio in English.
I saw that like over 1 million times over 20 hours.
What is the price even in Europe? Switch to price Europe. 558 euros.
This is the Mario Kart World but it's the version with the Mario Kart World game. The 510 euros is the Mario Kart World is the model with the Mario Kart World game.
No, that is only the console. 649 euros is the with Mario Kart World.
That's ridiculous. And this isn't that's Nintendo.
No,
Europe that has nothing to do with Trump at all. Okay, Europe has nothing to do with the fact that they're charging that. And that they're just being greedy and
okay, hey. Bugbusters is now for everyone, Diego.
Yay!
Diego can play Bugbusters. I have a dream to have TeknoParrot on phone.
Hell yeah.
But that's gonna take some time, I think. Because there is now good translation, I mean emulation with the Steam Deck and everything.
It'd be cool to have it on like iPad or like Android. So
yeah,
like
Android has a lot of Windows emulators. I need to investigate that as well. I
run a lot of stuff on my phone. I've done a lot of stuff that he's run so far.
But the Snapdragon 8 Elite is from. It's not optimized for.
What are you smoking, chap? Hey?
Dabs.
Oh, dabs. I never
concentrate.
tried. I was in Amsterdam, but I didn't take any dabs.
Internet.
Just some triple dipped
The internet
stuff.
No.
I take like 100 dabs a day.
You're crazy. Is it like legal in your state?
Oh yeah, I have a medical card.
Okay.
I literally have like several dispensaries within a few blocks of my home.
Here it's not legal.
This is basically Amsterdam. There's nothing but strip clubs and pot shops all around here.
Where are you now?
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. Okay.
Yeah, like up and down the whole friggin' strip is nothing but that type of shit.
Well, I want to ask just one political question, since you are in Canada, right?
No, I'm in Tampa, Florida. I'm in the United States.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just wondering because I was checking the news and Trump was calling this what is the former premier of Canada, the Justin.
Trudeau?
He was calling him governor, and now when the new guy came in, he calls him president. I don't know what the hell is going on in America.
Oh, you're talking about Carney, Mark Carney?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened is Trudeau gave up his seat and then he gave power to Carney. He was only calling Trudeau governor because what happened is Trudeau flew down to Mar-a-Lago and basically kissed the ring and was like, listen, I'm going to step down, because Trump told him what he was going to do and he saved face and he let it go on somebody else. And the other guy, he's like a compromised guy. I don't want to get too much into that, but he's basically like a World Economic Forum plant, the guy that's there now, and he's talking a lot of big game, but he's not going to be able to back it up. So Canada's entire their entire economy is based off of us.
Your politics in the North America is so complicated.
Very complicated. Well, the problem is this: is that the America's been treated as an offshoring welfare country for a very long time. Where, and I'm not gonna lie, I made a lot of money off of doing it.
Hello, River.
Where we would
Is
hold on, I'm in the middle of explaining something. Where we would just offshore a lot of our dollar is worth more elsewhere. Okay, so we spend our money more outside of the country to make money, and that's where a lot of money has been made. And by doing that, we don't have manufacturing. We don't create here. We're a service-based economy. And what Trump is trying to do is level it to where we bring back manufacturing within our borders. And if they get like the semiconductor companies like NVIDIA to create microchips in Arizona and whatnot and build factories, then they don't have to pay tariffs on those products that they're manufacturing here. And they're creating jobs within the United States. Now we're not offshoring that tech. We're holding that tech where it's not being stolen also, because a lot of times there's people who work in those factories who are selling that to like, China or other companies that like AMD that they're in, some type of competition. There's a lot of not when it comes to like stuff like that. So he's just trying to secure us with businesses and try to like balance what other countries are paying in deficit in trade and then bring it back to us and equalize the playing field. Because at this point, like I said, we're service-based. We need to become an industry-based economy or we'll be self-reliant on exports for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing wrong with having stuff done in other countries, but when they're charging us and not taking in our product, we need to be able to like hold that over so we can get what we want out of it and they end up getting what they want. So everybody wins. Because it basically is like this. Someone explained is like, imagine we all lived on an island, right? I sell apples and you sell oranges and somebody else doesn't sell shit, but they're taking all of our apples and oranges. And all of a sudden we end up with no apples and oranges. You got to have it to where everybody has something. You can't just have it one way. You got to have it always. And that really is like globalism. We need more globalism. That's my opinion of the situation.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, do we have something more to say? I need to start the raffle now, or the whatever it's called.
I'm sorry, I came in late. What was the new game supported?
Yeah,
also
cool.
Okay, River. I want to play I want to my wish for a game for Nintendo Switch 2 is going to play the Super Puzzle Bubble Taito Ginette game on Nintendo Switch 2 via Arcade Archives 2.
Okay, but the new game was something called K-On Rhythm something, some rhythm game.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating on Super Show. And now we have to do the raffle and give out some sweet keys. And this week I have to give out 20 keys because last week I was on the trip and I couldn't give them. So we must do 20 keys today. Just a moment. I'll pull up the key list. And this K-On was a really big surprise and it was really nice thing. We are trying to do stuff every week, but so far we have managed to do it, but I hope we can keep it going or at least have some feature. Even the FFB stuff should be just one feature since it's a monumental task to have a FFB for a game. I remember when I was working on the first FFB games with Boomslang on the library, and it was a huge task. Anyways, let's get the wheel started. Put the volume down a little bit. Okay, congratulations, River for president. Oh, is that an omen? Will River be the president of Finland? Let's continue. Oh my god, what the hell did I do? Farhan, congratulations. Fun Regis, congratulations and blessings. So 17 more to go. Gibsania Tech, congratulations and blessings. Hello Paxonic. Besu Fast, congratulations and blessings. Money, congratulations and blessings. Nuxic 222, congratulations and blessings. 13 more keys will be given out. Arcade Glove, congratulations and blessings. J Broom, congratulations and blessings. 11 more lucky winners. D Joker, congratulations and blessings. Then we have Easy BC, congratulations and blessings. 8 more lucky winners. Sega Twin 1, congratulations and blessings. I remember he didn't get keys because he used 4 accounts some time before. Hot Coffee, congratulations and blessings. 6 more lucky winners. Who is it gonna be? Mikael 28, congratulations and blessings. And 5 more. Big Terry, congratulations and blessings. Tadion, congratulations and blessings. I don't want to press the buttons all the time so your eardrums don't explode all the time. Oh no. Gvers, congratulations and blessings. That was very close. 2 more, I think. No. Amusement 90s, congratulations and blessings. And 2 more keys. Game Joy Arcade, congratulations and blessings. And let's see the last one. Stuart 2773, congratulations. Oh, I accidentally pressed it, so 1 more. Bonky, okay, congratulations for extra winner Bonky. And now I will distribute the keys. I still should like recode this system that I'm using to make it faster, but it is what it is. And the first winner was River for President. What a nice name. I should maybe give you 2 keys for such name. Let's do that. Okay, River for president. 1. River for president received 2 keys. Then Farhan. Then Fun Regis. Then Kid Zania Tech. Then Besu Fast. Then Manic. Then Nuxis 222. Nuxic, I guess. Then Arcade Clove. And remember now, Bugbusters can be played by everyone who Bugbusters, #1 game. That had a long-running problem with Diego's PC, but it was finally fixed by the community developer, Hero. Then we have Sega Twin here. So you can get your key in the subscriber tab now. And I will also drop some keys, I guess, in the YouTube chat as well. Okay, Teddy and Gvers, it's almost done. I'm just doing the list here as fast as I can. I'm gonna make some automatic system for this pretty soon, so you get the keys immediately. But it's also taking time because I then need to develop the website a little bit. Okay, and the last was Bonky. Then now everyone should have their keys. And even all the features. And now we'll drop a few keys to the chat. So take them before somebody else uses them. Take them quickly and activate your TeknoParrot. Few more keys. And one more lucky key to the chat. Oh. Okay, thank you everyone for participating, especially the guests. I always love to have guests here. And it's always refreshing to hear what people think. And I guess that's it for today's show. We'll see you again next Saturday, hopefully on the right time. Now I started 1 hour early because I have stuff to do, but I will always try to have the show at least, since it's very popular. Yeah, so again, let's see you again next week, and blessings to everyone for this Saturday, Sunday, and next week.